Yes, children. So finally, we understood that the General Musharraf overthrown the democracy, democratically elected government and declared himself as a chief executive, and later he conducted the referendum, but even that referendum was not correct. It was of full the malpractices and fraud. Okay, and then he changed his designation as president in 2002. So by this referendum, he has got the 5 years of extension for his the designation. Okay. Yes, children. Let us see the next one, that is see. In August 2002, he issued a legal framework order that amended the Constitution of Pakistan. According to this order, the president can dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. So here what they are telling. So in the year 2002, August 2002, he issued a legal framework order by stating that what he has stated, he has amended the constitution. That is, there was a change in the constitution that the government or the president has got a power to dismiss the national or the provincial assembly. So the president has got power even to dismiss national or the provincial assemblies. So later what happens? The work of the civilian cabinet is supervised by a National Security Council which is dominated by military officers. So here what happens? The maximum power is with president. He has got a power even to dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. Along with that, what happens? The civilian cabinet is supervised by National Security Council. That means whichever it is dominated by military officers. So that shows that even now also, yes, they are following this. Yeah, they are following the the military administration. So here we can see that military administration. See, after passing this law, elected representatives have some powers, but the final power rests with military officers and General Musharraf himself. So here we can see that, children, so even they are following the elections, they can see the elected leaders are there, but the maximum power is vested with, yes, the military officers and the General Musharraf. So why we are saying this? Because yes, the president has got the power even to dismiss the national or the provincial assemblies, and even the National Security Council has got the power even to supervise the civilians. So finally what happens? After passing this law, we can see that elected representatives have some powers, but they have got some powers, but not the final decision making power. Understand? So the final decision making power is with the military officers and the General Musharraf himself. So by seeing all these things, what you people understood, children? So can we call General Musharraf administration as a democratical administration? No, exactly, you people are right. We cannot even call it as a democracy. Yes or no, children? So because we can see here the maximum power is with, yes, the Musharraf. The General Musharraf was not elected by the people. He is a military corp. But still, he has got the maximum power. The final power is with, yes, General Musharraf and the military officers. So that is a reason. See, because of these reasons, Pakistan under General Musharraf should not be called a democracy. So when the Pakistan was ruled by this Musharraf, that administration will not be considered as a democracy. Okay, children. So that's the reason here we can see the under the General Musharraf administration will not be considered as a democracy. Guys, hope you people understood, right? It is just an example they have given about Pakistan. See, this is one of the first features of democracy. See, in democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. That means the maximum or the final decision-making power should be given to the, yes, the ruler or the leader who was elected by the people. Okay, children, that is what the first feature of democracy. Fine, let's move on to the next one, that is free and fair electoral competition. So here we can discuss, here they are discussing about the election, how elections should happen in a democratic country. So here also they are giving some examples of few countries. So here they are giving the first, that is China. So, should we consider the elections held in China are democratic elections? So, here they are questioning that. Can we consider the election which happened or held in China are democratic elections? So, let us see why this question arises. So, what are the reasons? See here, children. Parliament of China. So, this you can see this is a National People Congress. It has 3,000 members elected from China, and the National People Congress has got, it can appoint even the president of the country. Guys, remember, the National People Congress can appoint the president of the country, and it has got almost 3,000 members elected from China. Okay, this is the Chinese word for the National People's Congress. See, you can see the Parliament of China. Next, see, in China, single party system is practiced. So we have seen that there are, the different kinds of political party system a country can follow. We can see there are three types. One, it is single party system, two party system, and multi-party system. So in that, China is practicing single party system. It has practiced the single party system, but India is following, yes children, that is the multi-party system. Okay, those things and all let us see in your 10th standard in detail. Now you just understand what is what. See, single party system is practiced by China. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party, that is a community party. So as we know, only one single party system they are following. This is the one Chinese, the major communist party in China. So any contestants wants to participate in the election or contest in the election, they have to get an approval from this Chinese Communist Party. Okay, see, only those who are members of the Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it were allowed to contest elections. So here only by taking the approval from this Communist Party or any of the 8 smaller parties were there. So that were allied with this Communist Party. Only those candidates were allowed to contest in the election. See, the government is always formed by the Communist Party of China. So, whenever we see the government was formed by Communist Party of China. So, guys, you people understood here how democracy is working. So, what happens here? There is no freedom for the people to contest by them. Only single party system they are following. Only the Communist Party has got the majority power. Okay. So in the next we can see about the one more country, that is Mexico. Here they are giving the example of Mexico. Should we consider the elections held in Mexico are democratic elections? So the same question here also they are asking like China. See, since its independence in 1930, every election was won by a PRI, that is the Industrial Revolutionary Party, opposition parties did contest elections, but the PRI uses many dirty tricks to win the elections. So here what they are telling, in Mexico we can see they have not gone under any military administration or dictatorship in this country. But the only one political party used to win always in the elections by using some dirty politics or dirty tricks. Even though other political parties were contesting in election, but only PRI, that is the Industrial Revolutionary Party, only wins in the election. See children, all those who were employed on government offices had to attend its party meeting. So all the government officials are requested or they have to attend the meetings of this political party, and teachers of government schools used to force the parents to vote for the PRI. So finally what happened, even the teachers has to force the parents to vote for this Industrial Revolutionary Party. Media largely ignored the activities of opposition political parties except to criticize them. Even the medias were supporting to PRI. Why? Because they were, even though opposition party activities, they were not be shown in media, but only they were highlighting their mistakes. Okay children, hope you understood right about the Mexico. And next let us see. Sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult for people to cast their votes. So even they used to do this dirty, the tricks. That is, sometimes they used to shift the polling booths from one place to another place where the people has to struggle just to vote or just to cast their vote. See, PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. So they were spending lot of money even for campaign also. Okay children, so here you people are understanding the difference between China and Mexico. And here we can see the small countryside, the Syria also one example they have given. Syria is a small West Asian country. The ruling Ba'ath Party and some of its allies are the only parties allowed in that country, like communist. In the last class we have seen about Iraq. So even there also we can see Arab Ba'ath Party. So same here also in Syria. So by all these things, what you people understood about this, my dear? Yes, children. So in China, they had only one party, but there was no choice for the people. But in Mexico, the people had the choice to select the different candidates. But yes, there is no rights for them to, but there was only the influence of the PRI was much. So by seeing all these things, do you think all these elections which happened in China or Mexico are democratic elections? No, exactly no, children. So that is a reason we can see the second feature, that is a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. So when we are doing the election, for example, we can see in our country, even the ruling party have a chance to lose their election. Yes or no, children? So that's the reason they are telling election which is happening should be free and fair election. So hope you people understood these two features, right? The maximum, the decision making should be with the hands of rulers, and then the free and fair elections. So let's go for a recapitulation. Guys, you just take these questions and make a note in your homework note. Okay, you have to write all these 4 questions. So you hear that in China, the National People Congress has power to appoint the president of the country. So what is referendum you have to write? What major the political incident happened in Pakistan in 2002, that you have to write. And then why Pakistan under Musharraf?